Hantengu. Hantengu was the upper-rank 4 demon and the main enemy of the Swordsmith Village arc. Although he only appeared as a weak and annoying demon at first, he quickly turned into a big problem. He first started splitting himself into multiple demons who caused chaos throughout the village. Eventually, Genya tracked down his real body, but even with his strength, his sword broke when he tried to behead Hantengu. Later on, with some teamwork, the Slayers were able to deal with all of Hantengu's clones, which forced the demon to show his true final form. In an instant, Hantengu pulled all of his clones together and merged them into a new being called Zohakute. In this form, he had a huge circle growing out of his back, with drums that activated different blood demon arts depending on what he needed at that specific moment. One of his strongest abilities in this form was creating huge dragons out of the surrounding trees, which he used to attack Tanjiro and Mitsuri, putting them through pure hell. However, despite the huge power boost he went through, it still was not enough, and the Slayers eventually found a way to stop him. In the end, Hantengu died as he lived, a whimpering coward running away through the woods, begging not to be killed. Giyu Tomioka. Giyu, the water Hashira, is a strong fighter who uses water breathing, which he learned from Sakonji. During the final battles in the Infinity Castle, Giyu pushed past his limits and became even stronger because of his Demon Slayer mark. Giyu's mark appears as a flowing river on the right side of his face, running from his chin to his ear. His water breathing techniques get faster and stronger as the mark manifests, which later allowed him to stand his ground against Akaza for some time. In the final fight with Muzan, he was able to turn his Nichiren sword red after clashing it against Sunamis, which slowed Muzan's regeneration. He was one of the few people to make it out of the final battle alive, but had lost his right arm as a result. Zenitsu Agatsuma. It is wild to think that Zenitsu was once one of the weakest in the Demon Slayer Corps, so scared that he could only fight while asleep. Back then, he was only able to use one breathing form of his thunder-breathing style, Thunderclap and Flash. And while it was certainly enough to take down lower-ranked demons, it was not going to cut it for the final battle. So, Zenitsu had to get past this weakness by building on the move a lot, eventually building it up to the final version, which he dubs Thunderclap and Flash Godspeed. However, even that is not where his growth stopped. During the final battle, while fighting against Kagaku, Zenitsu developed his own style of thunder breathing, which he named the Flaming Thunder God. While using this form, he becomes very fast and creates a lightning dragon image behind him, quickly cutting his opponents in half. By the end of the final fight, Zenitsu was seemingly on the same level as the other Hashira when it comes to strength, and even better, he was finally able to fight while awake. Yushiro. While we did not see much of him before the Infinity Castle arc, Yushiro was instrumental in defeating the Demon Lord and keeping Slayers alive. Using his blindfold blood demon art, he was able to see through the eyes of others, which made him almost all-knowing as he tracked the Slayers through the castle. However, when he sensed Tomoyo's death, full of rage, he unlocked a whole new level to this ability. In this final form, he was able to mind control those he used the ability on. This allowed him to use Nakime's blood demon art against her, moving all the Slayers to the surface as the castle fell apart around them. Later on, he also helped the Slayers with his medical knowledge, reviving Tanjiro and helping cure him with the anti-Muzan drug that he, Tomoyo, and Shinobu created. Inosuke Hashibira. Now, although Inosuke does not really have a clear final form, his strength and power have increased dramatically throughout the series, so it is only fair that we cover him as well. Right from the start, Inosuke proved to be a total madman during battles, throwing himself headfirst against threats without caring for his own safety. However, as time went on, we learned that he is actually pretty smart, using his great flexibility and wild upbringing to confuse opponents in a fight. During the Infinity Castle arc, Inosuke was able to perfect his beast breathing technique, which allowed him to go toe-to-toe with Doma alongside Kanao. He also started to use the repetitive action technique to raise his strength, bringing an even stronger version of his beast breathing form.